All right, Shalom. First off, I want to start off saying all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, preaching the word in truth and sincerity. Um, you know, this is another lesson, Lord, willing to edify the elect of the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and the confusion of faith that have been mingled throughout every nation on earth, and therefore they look like every nation on earth. That is the mystery that the scriptures speak of who the Gentiles really are. Those are Israelite foreigners. You know, this is to be preached in the name of who the world calls God, whose name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, and his beloved son, Yahweh Shai, who you ignorant call Jesus Christ, you know? But what you're seeing now is that Esau's been confronted so much that he's on edge, he's scared, he hates being reminded, Slakia, he hates being reminded of his wickedness, and he hates to be plagued with the image of you tribes getting above, man. That's a serious plague for Esau, Edom, man. Superhero stops villains, doomsday weapon. And if you go, here it is, Jake can't even have a fictional salvation without Esau coming up against it, like in this game Mortal Kombat 11 with Jax, you know, basically going back in time and reversing slavery. And Jake can't even have that without Esau Edom sitting there saying there's something wicked, evil about it. You know? So this is the time we're in, man, because we're in the time where Esau's being confronted and he's hurting, and he feels, you know, like they say in the world, that you feel that pressure on your neck, you know, when you know something is bad around the corner. It's like somebody's breathing on your neck, and you can feel them close to you, man. And that's what this time is for Esau Edom. And I'm gonna play just a little bit of this video right here and get into some precepts, man.
Let's face it, the development team at NetherRealms is also majority white. Perhaps this wasn't the best idea.
Maybe it wasn't the best idea for you to make a scene of Jake rising up in the world being at peace. Look at that. Look, there's a one dude on this whole comment board that said something. Said, so Jax is evil and scary because he ended slavery. Laugh my ass off. Wow. Let's see what they said. Look at that. It says, because he blames the only demographic that actually worked to end slavery as opposed to the Africans, which he was really talking about Israelites, who invented chattel slavery and used their countrymen as currency in dealing. No, they used Israelites. Them dirty fucking Hamites, who you call Africans today, sold the 12 tribes of Israel into slavery. Yes, there were some Israelites that sold their own people into slavery as well, man. You know? Well, there's wicked among our people, man. That's just a fact. But for the most part, you know, who was being really sold into slavery? Who's being sold into slavery? It was Israelites. They knew who they were getting. That's why you have a kingdom saying Fort Judah in the west coast of Africa, man. We were fleeing to the west coast of Africa because of Roman persecution. It says, as currency in dealing with the Portuguese and the Dutch traders, the Arabs who actually did go into Africa, into the African interior, slaughter villages and take children as captives, whom they would castrate so they could not breed, and infest the Arab lands. Look, he said infest. Infest. That was his word choice. Actual lines from the hadiths in the fatwas, the current slave trade where an Americans still rape, murder, and slave one another. But no, Whitey needs to get punished so the world can get woke. You see, this is the Wakanda forever. This is Esau's mindset, man. You tribes can never have a breath, man. You tribes can never have a sense of being, man, with the so-called white man around, because every single time you get up to say something, he has some derogatory, something to devalidate your feelings, man. But here it is. You have to remember the Holocaust. Look, at the end of the day, they would go into Germany. Esau would write a script where he would go into Germany, or he would go into kill Russia, not Russia, but Hitler's entire bloodline, just to keep the so-called Holocaust from coming. But you'll never hear any bad criticism on that. But you'll hear it about a fictional salvation for Israel, for you so-called Negroes, man. And Esau's hurt, man. That's why he has to make shit like this. I'm gonna play it a little more.
It really makes Jax out to be kind of scary and evil too. Like the humility of him just wanting to fix his family, and that's all he really cares about, and he just wants to protect his. I think that's something that everybody can get behind. That seems noble in a working man's kind of way. For him.
See, and that's what Esau wants. He wants the tribes to just be selfish as they've been in his rulership, man. Here it is for him, it's good enough if just your black ass and your immediate connections are fine. But here it is, you have an entire nation of people that have been systemically oppressed, man. Systematically oppressed, fucked up, put on the bottom, started late in a race. You know, here it is. You Israelites couldn't get land for forever. You Israelites couldn't own anything. You couldn't even sue somebody when they wronged you forever. So if they wanted to go to you in a court of law, they could sue you, and that'd be the easiest case. Open and shut one day, no evidence needed, you lose. So Esau's racked up money, man. Look what he did to the Native Americans, man. What did he do? They had a thing that were going where you would be, if you were a Native American Indian, you'd be able to get some acres of land, some money for livestock, and then you'd get the benefits that the Native Americans were supposed to get, which is a measure of grain and all that to sustain yourselves. And that was basically like the welfare program for the Gadites, the North American Indians. That was their basic welfare program from the state. And Esau, the so-called white man, had the thing where it was like, was it the 50 cent or the dollar something Indian, where they would sit here and just pay somebody to forge the papers for them, and they can go just land grab. You see, it's the Esau Edom. See, at the end of the day, all the atrocities in the world, you can draw back to the so-called Edom, Caucasian race, man. They've done everything throughout the earth. The scriptures tell you his tongue walked throughout the earth. And now it's evil that Jake looks like he's gonna get salvation, man. Look at this. This is Psalm 73, and it's 8. It says, I'll start at 7. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than a heart could wish. And this is talking about Esau Edom, man. You so-called white people. You have more than your heart could wish. It says, they are corrupt. They speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. See, here it is. You can bring out a point about all the atrocities that were done to the tribes. But here, and throughout the world by the so-called white men, but the ones that are evil and wicked are the ones that wanted to stop and that address them as the issue. That's the ones who they call evil, man. It says, woe to them that call evil good and good evil, man. It would be a good thing for somebody to go back in time and keep this goddamn devil from enslaving the Israelites. But it's evil and it's scary that this man went back in time and kept the so-called white man from, producing slavery in the earth, that's evil to them. Verse 9, it says, they set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. And they speak against truth. They speak against righteous judgment, man. If you point out that somebody wickedly came against your family, or somebody, a whole line of people wickedly went out throughout the earth, causing all type of mayhem and havoc, and you say, you know what? If I had the power, I'd go back in time and I would stop them before they got to start. That's nothing wrong with saying that, man. Even though you cannot go back in time, the Lord is going to make this stuff happen in real time, present day. It says, therefore his people return hither, and the waters of a full cup are wrung out unto them. What does it mean by the waters of a full cup? Meaning, he's refreshed in the earth, man. He gets all the good substance to be able to relax on the earth. So he doesn't have to think about these things because he lives well, man. It says, and they say, how doth the Most High know? Is there knowledge in the Most High? And that's their mindset, man. They do all these things and they're like, man, the Lord ain't looking at this, man. So he frames the whole mindset around it. But here it is. In these last days, through the Spirit of the Lord, man, we're making him remember. We're making him see these things, and he's getting nervous. He's getting scared. He's getting antsy. And it's all going back to what it says in the book of Revelation, man. Revelation 11. And I'll start at 11. It says, and after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of the Most High entered into them. I'll start up. I'll start at 9. It says, and they of the people, and kindreds and tongues, nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be buried and put in graves. And that's talking about the dead state that Israel was in, man. The dead state that you 12 tribes were in because you didn't know who you are. You didn't know the real name of the Lord, and you were given a culture that's not yours, man. This bitch thinks pants sagging and baggy clothes and some Yeezy shoes is just all Jake culture. No, motherfucker, this is your rulership and your culture, man. The so-called white men made culture up for you tribes. When it comes down to it, who puts the shit on the TV that you tribes flock to? They control the narrative. They tell you what's in. They tell you what's out, man. It says, they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because of these. You see, they made merry over our us being slain, dead, not knowing who to call on, not knowing the name of the Lord. They sent gifts to each other, say, hey man, we finally got these motherfucking niggas, man. It says, because these two prophets, and when it's talking about the two prophets, it's talking about the northern and the southern kingdom, man. Because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw, because now you're seeing the 12 tribes come back up. We're standing on our feet, meaning we have a foundation to stand on, which is the scriptures, and we understand now, and we know how to move in this wicked kingdom, and we're bringing out its judgment. So now they're in fear, man. It says, verse 12. And they heard a great voice in heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up into heaven, and their enemies beheld them. And that's what they're seeing now, man. They're getting antsy because this is what they're seeing now. The two prophets are tormenting the fuck out of them, man. The entire nation is terrifying the hell out of them because here it is throughout the entire world, you got camps popping up. And even in the divisions between these other camps that aren't in Great Millstone, even in that division, you see camps out here preaching the same thing. Esau, Edom is the wicked of the earth. They talk about his atrocities. They tell you that the Lord is going to address that. They tell you that the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, for the most part. And that's scaring the shit out of them because now, here it is, you got camps popping up globally. Men that are believing, man. This is Jeremiah 50 and 33. I'm going to start up a little bit. You know what? I'll get that. Yeah. It says, "Thus said Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go." You see? The northern and southern tribe, you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the entire nation was oppressed together, man. We were fucked up all together, man. So this so-called white man thinks that, when you talk about black culture and this liberation in this goddamn game, is aggressive and it's scary and it's racist. No, it's just factual because he's fucked up the most numerous nation on the earth, which are the Israelites, because Israel was blessed to be as the sands of the sea. The Lord said we would be as the sands of the sea, man. When He appointed the nations their inheritance, He considered us in the land we needed first, man. When the Lord appointed all the other nations their inheritance, their piece of land, their plot of land, He did it according to the number of the tribes of Israel. Meaning He looked at us first and said, all right, let's give you yours first. And then He started spreading the nations out and be like, this is where your border is going to start because this is going to be enough land for my people. So back in Jeremiah 50 and 33, it says, all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go. And that's what it's coming down to, man. Esau doesn't want to let the 12 tribes of Israel go, man. It's just the same as it was in Egypt, man. Because with us going down, that means the entire culture of America would go down, man. The entire power structure, the allure of this place will go down because we provided the salt. Without us, this is just some plain grits, man. We're the cheese and salt in that grits, man. We're the butter, man. We give this place flavor, and without us, this place would have never prospered. Who built up the country? The so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Who made it great? The Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And what they don't like to tell you is the biggest military figures throughout history were all Jakes, man. The ones that led the charges, the ones that got the intel, the ones that were doing the majority of the killing in their wars. Those were Jakes, man. They were the mighty men, just like they were in the old days, man. This is Jeremiah 49. And let's see. Jeremiah 49 and 12, it says, "For thus said Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished?" The people whose judgment wasn't to drink of the cup, man, because their cup was filled with a mixture. Plagues, captivity, hardship, bondage. Man, we were actually destined to have the abundance of the earth. We were made to be kings and priests, but through sin and envy of the devil, we were cast down, and we drank of the cup of the Lord, the wrath, man. We were supposed to be blessed in the Lord. What does it say in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, from the first verse to the 15th verse, man? All the blessings that we were supposed to get. That's what we were supposed to be in. But through the envy of the devil, we fell, and we drank of his cup. And now Esau's scared because when he sees an image, even a fictional image, of what salvation would look like to an extent for the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, he's scared and he starts rejecting it because he knows at that point that he had to pay for something. It says, thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself. You see, the Lord said, you know what? Just like Jake do in the world today, when they trying to talk big shit and talk tough stuff, what do, man? They swear by themselves. They said, man, hey, on me, nigga. On me, my nigga. That's what they do. The Lord's sitting there telling you, hey, on me. He's saying, for I have sworn by myself, say Yahweh, that Basra shall be a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be a perpetual waste. And did that not happen to Israel? It says, I have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador sent among the heathen, saying, and who's that ambassador? It's going to be the Lord, man. Gather ye together and come against her, rise up to the battle, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. You see, thy terribleness hath deceived thee, the pride of thy heart. O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, it says, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as an eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, say Yahweh. See, the Lord is going to do this. It says, also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be in astonishment, and shall hiss at the plagues thereof. You see? And this is his covenant for Edom. And this is why he's so scared. This is why he's so shook up, man. Because he feels the heat on his neck. It's Psalm 75 and 8. I'm going to close out on this. It says, for in the hand of Yahweh there is a cup, and the wine is red and full of mixture, and he poured out the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth, shall wring them out and drink them. You see? And that's what Esau's afraid of, man. Because when we took this L, really none of the nations had any against us. Had anything really against us, man. The Lord just put it on them to hate us, man. But when you goddamn heathen, you Edomites got in a rulership, you shit on everybody in the room, man. You shit on the people you made the covenant with. Just like it says in Psalm the 83rd chapter. Man, they were confederate with them. You shit on the ones that you were confederate with. So not only are you going to have the shit in his stick when it comes to Israel getting into power, all these other nations aren't going to come to help you, man. And that's what he's afraid of, because he's seeing the whole world turn against him. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to say, Call Allah, Yahweh, Bashim Yashai, Bashim or Call Kadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. Shalom.